The game tonight, the Tennessee Titans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a wild week of quarterbacks this is going to be. We'll give you the crazy list a little bit later, but just these two quarterbacks. It's going to be Will Levis, famed and noted and well paid. He has a deal. Good for you, Will. Eater of mayonnaise, and Kenny Pickett. Will Levis had as good a debut last week, and you might not have noticed it because it was a crazy early window with those 9 games, and then in the late window, the Bengals beat the Steelers and everything that happened yesterday. You might not have noticed that Will Levis threw 4 touchdowns. The only other quarterback in his first game to go 4 touchdowns, no picks, no fumbles. Anybody? Marcus Mariota.
Yep.
Right, who also wore the number 8. Who did it week number 1 when he was a rookie, starting against the quarterback that was drafted 1 ahead of him, Jameis Winston. It was great. It was a 1-2 game, week number 1, and Marcus Mariota came out and threw 4 touchdowns. I'm not saying that Levis is going to do it again, but I am saying that if I'm a Titans fan, I'm over the moon about this guy. I mean, he is the future, and I don't think we're going to see Ryan Tannehill play another game as a Tennessee Titan, barring an injury. I'm surprised they didn't trade him at the deadline. Don't know what they were asking. Don't know who wanted him. But as we go back to the Garoppolo conversation from earlier, if you're the Vikings or the Falcons, especially Arthur Smith, his former coach, don't you pick up the phone and say, give me Ryan Tannehill? I was sitting with Rich watching that game and also watching the Jets and the Giants. More on that coming up later because that was a doozy. And Rich left. I know he told that story on Monday. And I turned to Rich and said, if you're Arthur Smith, you're making the call right now. Because at that point, Ritter's out of the game. Heineke's in the game. You're like, Ryan Tannehill is going to be a Falcon next week. He's got to be. Look at this kid, Will Levis. It's not that Will Levis threw 4 touchdowns. It's how he threw them. It's that they were able to protect him. He was able to take deep shots. And he was able to, with amazing touch and accuracy, find DeAndre Hopkins downfield. The same DeAndre Hopkins who we thought was done and washed up. And he was running away from guys. Now, on one of those touchdowns, he grabbed A.J. Terrell. Yes, they were playing the Falcons by the helmet and threw him aside. Right? It was as blatant a case of uncalled OPI we've seen all year. But the headline is, oh my God, it's a touchdown for DeAndre Hopkins. Isn't Will Levis amazing? I think they could go in there and win again tonight. I truly do. However, only one rookie quarterback in the last 20 years has done that. His name is Dak Prescott. He's the only rookie in the last 20 years. They're like 1 in 15 collectively. To go into Pittsburgh and to beat Mike Tomlin and to beat T.J. Watt and to beat the Steelers in their own building. No Minkah Fitzpatrick tonight. Kenny Pickett is going to play. He is off the injury report. Any concern about him? And he wasn't able to finish on Sunday. Forget about it. He might be sore. We'll see if he is at all a factor in the run game. Not that he normally is, but we'll see if he plays a little bit differently. He is going to play tonight. I'm going to go with the Titans tonight. And I know that's insane. And I'll be honest with you, I don't know that I firmly believe in what I'm saying. I'm not hedging. I might be speaking with my heart as a Browns fan.
That's what it sounds like.
As opposed to my head as a reporter and as someone who covers this league. But if you flip it around, this is a hugely important game for the Steelers.
Oh, yeah.
Because if they win this, they get the Packers next week, and that game is at home. If they win this, they get the mini bye. They're 5-3. They're looking good in the best division in the NFL. It's the best. Don't come with me at any other argument. And then they get 2 huge division games on the road at Cleveland and Cincinnati. So this game, there's a lot on the line for the Steelers. And I'm going to go with Will Levis and the Titans, but I hate mayonnaise, and I'm already regretting that I went with Will Levis and the Titans. Other than that, we're good.
Andrew, it's funny. I brought it up the other day, and Chris told me that wasn't real.
What?
He didn't really drink.
I mean, it's a bit. He did it as a bit. He was just trying to...
He did it. So here's what I understand.
Get some juice going for himself.
It is real, but he overdid it. Right? It's real. Like, yeah, I think he once threw it in his coffee, but then, like, it became a thing, and he leaned into it.
Right.
Then there became a point in the pre-draft process where he was just all right, I'm sick of it. I don't want to be the guy that's only known as the mayonnaise guy. And that coincided with him, quote unquote, falling in the draft. Remember, he fell to the second round. Right. That coincided with, Will Levis isn't a lock for a top 10 pick anymore. That coincided with everyone's taking shots at me in the pre-draft process. I'm falling. And then it was, maybe he's aloof. Who is this clown that eats mayonnaise and puts it in his coffee?
Eating bananas.
Right. Is this guy not serious? Right. Look at his arms. Is he just a workout bro that puts mayonnaise in his coffee and not a guy that we want to draft, right? Right. And then it all steamrolled and it snowballed, as it often does in the pre-draft process. And then, to his credit, he has handled this really, really, really well. Right as the season began, he announced a huge off-the-field partnership, a marketing deal with, I can't remember which mayonnaise company it is.
Hellmann's?
One of the companies that makes that stuff. Yeah. Okay? Good job, Will Levis. And then he waited his turn. He eventually got on the field, and he played lights out. Yeah, so good for him.
Yeah. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.